Welcome back to the channel. All right, Omega Sentinel. This is my own rank 2. You saw me take her from the Omega Sentinel days deal or whatever, or actually I just awakened her so I get Sig 1. I talked about it. It's a big deal. We'll go over this in the video. But, you know, there's so many, like, just not true things about her. And I can understand it, and that's fine. But I'm going to explain so many things about her that I think are going to really surprise you here. She is massively underrated, and there's a reason why we have her in the second tier in my tier list. And you have to keep in mind that for us, even the 4th tier champions are phenomenal and worth taking to the highest rank and variety in the game. We're going to go through, do a full showcase, going to talk so much about how to play her, why we're playing her this way, and how some of these things are just not accurate, like about having to play her full loop and all these things that her damage is not good and what have you. Keep in mind, I think this was a 350,000 Mr. Sinister, and we can only gain power when he throws specials. So we need him to throw specials, right? Or we want him to. And so he is removing the debuffs off of us, but really cool, nice little extra thing. She is a hashtag robot. We're not getting into degens, and you can see the massive damage we're doing. One of the things that doesn't get talked about her enough is she has a massive, one of the higher attack values in the whole game, and she is absolutely recoil friendly. Don't worry, I'm going to show you without recoil. I'm going to show you mutants. I'm going to show you not mutants. I'm going to show you her miss. I'm going to show you her heal block. We're going to see it all today. That was 350,000 damage in 41 seconds. 41 seconds against an opponent who is taking her debuffs and getting rid of them. All right, so now we're going to go in. This is going to be a battlegrounds fight against a, this is only a rank 2 dominoes or rank 3 domino later. Don't you worry about that. Rank 2 domino, battlegrounds. So we're going to use her heal block. And this is one of the first things I really want to talk to you about is often when she first came in the game, yeah, and like if you're fighting Winter Soldier, you want to like switch through all of her debuffs and all that stuff. Don't worry about it. It's fine. You're going to land your debuffs from the second medium, right? And is a battlegrounds, a PvP matchup. So I want to make sure Domino is not healing, right? They're going to be running wheel power. So let's make sure Domino is not healing. We've got these up. We're going to get to our special 2. And against mutants, she lands a plasma, which is really nice. Yes, she can take Bishop. She can take Bishop because he doesn't do all his crazy energy damage stuff against plasma. So keep that in mind. We're going to go in here and throw our specials. Her ability actually can't be reduced by mutants. And watch the score. This is straight across. We're not punching up, punching down. My Omega Sentinel is only Sig 1, rank 2 against a rank 2 domino. 50,800. Now I'm playing in Quantum and Mysterium. And that's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. I'll take that any day, all day. Here we are against Mr. Sinister. And remember, I'm not going to just show you mutants. I just want to get the table set. I want to show you how good she is, because this is a totally different node and those sorts of things. I think this Mr. Sinister had about 300,000 health. We are going to go with our heal block. Also, I can gain power regularly. In fact, this meta is the rich get richer. And because she does have buffs, we're going to be gaining power. So that's going to help us out a little bit. She gains her armor up buffs when attacks are repeated, right? And you really like these, one, because they are chonky armor up. It's going to make you significantly more tanky. But here we go. We still haven't had a chance to put on our debuffs. And I want to keep, actually, I want to pause this. We're at 32 seconds into this fight with loading times. Who knows how long we actually are into the fight. He's already at 62%. This is what I was telling you about. We are not running recoil. We have not even thrown a special. We are just basic hitting. We are keeping up a heal block. And we are already like, what, 140,000 damage into this fight. He had 300,000 health. He's at 62%. I guess we've thrown a little bit of our special too, but you get my point. We now have our debuffs on. I would like him to not throw his special one. He does it anyway. That's fine. We're just going to re-land our heal block again. I didn't do a good job of getting to my block right away. That's a-okay. We're back to our special 2. We're going to land this. And this fight is essentially over. He's going to throw this. Remember, he would try to put on that concussion, but we are immune to ability accuracy reduction against mutants, so it doesn't matter anyway. Dead. We'll continue to go over more about her. We're now going to move on to some hazard shift nodes against a... oh, no, sorry. Actually, like I said, I want to show you we're not just going to do this against mutants. We're now going to go up against this Dr. Doom. This is aggression prowess, these sorts of things. I want to show you this for a couple of reasons. I've talked a lot for a while now about how Nimrod, in my opinion, Kabam's going to start combating him. We clearly started seeing this happen by nodes that were saying that if you remove the the prowess, we're gonna put like a shock on you, or these bad things are gonna happen, or it's basically they're punishing the idea of bringing Nimrod. Well, hello, you can bring in your Omega Sentinel for nodes like this. You can see we are taking care of it through the just through hitting right. I think this was the node where just every time we make contact we were removing the prowess. She doesn't do anything to it, so you can just keep your fight going. And then I also wanted to show you this is tier 3, right? So the nodes aren't quite as hard as tier 1 or something like that, but this was a 200,000 rank 5 ascended Dr. Doom, and she's gonna get this down. I am not boosted, I am not running recoil. We do have to get the special 2 dexes. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. And we're gonna go in and eventually get to our special 2. We'll throw our striker here. I don't think, we don't. So the other thing that you're seeing me do a lot of, and I kind of want to start talking this a little bit, is you can pause your debuffs via your heavy or by ending your combo in a light. You're gonna see me sometimes finishing a combo with a light attack or landing a heavy attack pauses all personal debuffs on the opponent for 7 seconds. So you're gonna see me utilize that quite a bit to get that nice pause. It pauses up the debuffs from her pre-fight ability, or as you cycle through with your heavy, and then you're gonna get extra damage from that when you throw your special 2. We'll talk about that right here as we go into this fight. So this is against this APOC. APOC is a chonky boy, right? Almost a little under 300,000 health here, about 270. This is a hazard shift lane. We're gonna take a series of this. So we're gonna go in, and she is not obviously Incinerate immune. She does take damage from Incinerate. So this fight's gonna take slightly longer because I'm gonna have to play around this for a little bit. This will give an opportunity to talk a little bit more about how to basically play her. You can see he's gonna go into his poison mode. And one of the things I wanted to point out, she takes 0 damage from poison. However, when she gets a poison or a bleed on her, she heals back 20% of the missing damage. Now you'll see that it won't stack, right? When we get a new poison on, we're not gonna get a stacking heal, but it is a really nice way to keep topped off. And if you're running the recoil masteries, when you go into the next fight, you will heal up a little bit. It's really, really nice. So what we're doing is we're repeating hits when we can to get our 10 armor ups, and then we're gonna get to our special 2. I will show you the special 3 because it's a really great alternative that can work out very well for you. When we need to pause our debuffs, we will end combos in light, or we will heavy, but the heavy also shifts through your pre-fight abilities, which allows you to get a cowardice up, a tracking debuff, so you can do anti-miss. I'll show you that here, or the heal block, right? So this is a lot like what I've talked about with America Chavez, where you want to think about, why am I taking her into this fight, and then accentuate that, maximize that, utilize that. You don't have to play her like rotation, her ideal rotation, okay? Because she does more than enough damage to help you out to get through these fights, as you're seeing from this, because none of these are boosted. Now, the special 2, the last hit inflicts an Incinerate debuff on the opponent, and an additional 1 for each personal non-damaging debuff on the opponent. Against mutants, you're gonna inflict an identical plasma. This is what's gonna help you against Bishop, as I said, because it's not gonna be an energy debuff. This also is really nice and kind of ties in really well with that signature ability 1 that I wanted. That wasn't bad for Apocalypse, right? Which was, and the reason why I wanted it, even though it was only Sig 1, is the second line of the signature ability. Omega Sentinel special 2 inflicts an additional Incinerate debuff for each prowess effect on the opponent. So a lot of these mutants or nodes that are putting prowess on there, you're gonna get an additional Incinerate or the plasma for each prowess that's on there, really ramping her damage in those fights. But again, as you can see, her damage is more than fine outside of those fights. We're gonna go in here, shock and bleed, power focus 2 against this Ebony Maw. And I know you're like, hey, aren't you a little bit concerned that you're gonna get nullified? No, because she's actually immune to nullify and stagger, and I believe it is also Fate Seal. I'm looking for it for, immune to nullify, stagger, and Fate Seal. So we're gonna get up our tracking debuff like we are right here. Keep it up, right? Because every time we have our second medium, we're gonna apply another one of those. And you are like, you do benefit from having multiple up, right? We should land our heavy, or I'm sorry, our second medium. We've got 2 of our tracking up. They paused during the special. And as a result, we now have 3 of our Incinerates up. One of the things I think, and one of the reasons why these kind of like, they're not true, but the reason why people think these things about her is her Incinerates on their own, their plasma on their own, they're not incredible. They're not amazing. I think so often when we have a debuff champion, we think that's what should happen, because they often don't have great attack or these sorts of things. But she has phenomenal attack, which is why you don't, it's another reason essentially, you don't need to play her in her like prescribed, very structured loop all the time. You don't need to get up all the different debuff types. You don't need to heavy and parry to keep up your pauses. You can pause, as you're seeing literally in all these fights, with your last light. And it's really, really nice. And as we continue on, you'll see it's going to actually pause our damaging debuffs as well, especially if you use the SB3 rotation, which I really like using. So she's now taken 2 hazard shift fights. We are obviously getting the buff from Odin, so it's fine. People do that all the time. We're going to go ahead and do this again. She's still got it. We're now up against the rank 3 Domino. This is hazard shift, shock and bleed, one eye open. So one eye open is adding a wrinkle to this, right? We're not going to be able to land our heavy outside of the striker without parrying. So what are we going to do? We're going to use our light attacks to pause, and we're not going to parry. This is really, really cool. I really enjoyed this fight. And I think we've talked about basically everything with her. Her signature ability really is nice because what it does is it reduces it increases your chances of getting an armor up back after your special 2. Her armor ups are also part of what gives her auto block ability, which can be really, really helpful, right? And can make her a bit of a pain on defense. So here we go. We're going in for this fight. I'm just basically cycling through. You can see I've got my debuff up, the heal block, and I am doing my best to keep it. Pause and or land a second medium to get another one up, but I should end on light again. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to kind of continue this on. She doesn't have an evade counter, so that's one thing you want to keep an eye on when you are fighting Domino. And yeah, this is the fight. I was pretty sure this is the fight we're going to go all the way to the special 3, okay? And in the special 3, on activation, consume all personal, incinerate, or plasma debuffs that are on the opponent and deal a burst of energy gems. It's pretty nice, but it's rarely why I use it. I actually use it for the second bullet point was if the opponent is not inflicted with any personal, incinerate, or plasma, so basically just your regular debuffs, you're fine. Instead, inflict 6 incinerate debuffs against mutant inflicted in identical plasma. So watch this. I haven't had to parry this whole time. She's very chunky with all those armor ups. I'm just blocking, baiting heavies, and then I'm just going to use my light attack, right? Use my striker, use my light attack to keep everything paused. It pauses our damaging debuff, even with lucky up, because I'm just doing my lights over and over. I was able to recover and block that there. I parried, so I didn't attack in because of the one I opened. And you saw Domino just melted, and that's just solely from the special 3. That's just solely from the plasmas off the special 3. A minute 25 seconds for a rank 3 Domino. I'm not boosted at all. She's really good, y'all. There's a reason why I was so excited about her. And then this is the final fight. We're going to go in against this Toad. And I just want to show off the heal block ability. We've been showing it in the PvP matches already, right? But Toad can become a real problem if you are get him in the corner and if his healing gets going. And he even does a thing like if you're poison immune, right? Can he stun you and stuff? You don't got to worry about that with Omega Sentinel. And also you can see that we're actually healing back up when he puts a poison on us. See, he's putting on a poison, we're healing. So I make a mistake, so the health bar is eventually gonna go down. But at this point in the fight, our health bar has actually been going up. So as I've shown you, we had Ebony Maw, we had Dr. Doom. These are pretty tough fights. Against Doom, there was nothing special. That was just damage. Against Ebony Maw, we were using the anti-miss ability, and then in all the PvP fights, there it is, I punished late, we were just using the heal block. She hits very, very hard. This was only a rank 2. We are not boosting any of them. I've shown you with recoil, without recoil. Her ability actually can't be reduced by mutants. She has an auto block for some really, really nice safety mechanics. She's great. She can handle miss. She can handle healing. And she's got the cowardice, which we didn't even get a chance to show off here, because in so many of the fights, and I think that's why people feel like she's unpractical. That's why people think she can be difficult to play, is they're trying too hard to utilize everything in her kit. Just really, it's like, again, like what I showed you with America Chavez, is if you just concentrate on why you brought her into the fight, you're going to get very, very good results. I've used her a ton in Act 8, and as Act 9 comes our way, I'm sure I will continue to use her, and I will get out more and more videos. I use her in Grandmaster's Gauntlet. She's really, truly one of my favorite champions to play, and like I said, she's in the second tier of our tier list. Make sure you tune in, well, depending on when you see this, but the tier list will come out in about 2 weeks, the updated one for July. Make sure you tune in and you see where she's at. But She's great. As usual, though, let me know what we think we got right. Let me know what we think you got wrong. And hopefully, if you have your Omega Sentinel, you either learned something new today or you've already got it ranked up and you're like, that's right, Vega. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.